How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Mike joining from South Africa, Cape Town, and he's the founder of Circulos Excellence. So, Mike, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Hi, Harry, and hi, everybody there. It's lovely to be on the show today. And, well, it's such a great question because I think it's a question that obviously everybody will answer different. But number one step is to have absolute clarity on what it is that you want to do. So many entrepreneurs go in without doing the research, without thinking the idea fully through. They've got the first 2 or 3 steps and they crash and burn. So step number one is having absolute clarity on what you want. Step number 2 is positioning. I mean, Harry, look at you. You couldn't be positioned any better if you wanted to.
Thank
Your
you.
shirt matches the background, right? You've got the banners at the back there, speakers or leaders, a university. You've got past guests, whoever they are, coming up on the screen, luminaries, etc. Look at me. I've got my company branding here
Very
right behind.
professional.
You know
Very
exactly
professional.
what it is. So the second answer is positioning. Unless as an entrepreneur, you can position yourself so that you are seen to be at the top of your industry, at the top of your game, nobody is going to take you seriously. Step 3, and most people are going to not like this. They're going to think it's a sales pitch. It's not. You need to spend money and get the best mentor that you can that knows exactly how to take you from your current state to your desired state. By the way, are most of the mentors that are offering mentorship in the world able to do that? No. I'm not talking about a specific business coach here. I'm talking about somebody that can go the journey. I'm not talking about a coach who asks you questions like, how are you feeling about that? I'm talking about somebody that says, option 1, you could do this. Option 2, you could do that. Option 3, you could do that. Which one do you want? Option 2. Okay, that's not the one I would have picked. Why do you want option 2? It's getting into that level of detail with you. So that's the third step. So we've got clarity. You remember what the second step is, Harry?
Absolutely. Clarity. And the second one is positioning.
Positioning, right? The third one is mentors, absolutely. So now the fourth one is having something unique and being prepared to be bold about it. So it's boldness. But it's not boldness for the sake of being aggressive or anything like that. It's boldness about what you've got that's unique. And it sets you apart from other people that do what you do. And it sets you miles apart. And when I ask people this, a lot of people say, oh, my service is really good. Everybody says their service is good, right? So that's not going to set you apart. It's got to be something really unique. And it's got to be bold, and you've got to talk about it a lot, and it's got to be bold. In fact, you'll see the people who convert the most sales, and at the moment I'm thinking of politicians and things like that because there's a lot going on in the world. You know, one message, bold. That's what gets the message through. So that would be number 4. And number 5 is going to be different than probably what other mentors will tell you. But this works for me. Number 5 is the opposite of perseverance. It's flow. And what I mean by that, Harry, is that when times come that you're not quite getting there, don't look at it and say, I've got to fight so hard. I've got to get up at 5 a.m. I've got to do this. Look at it and go, that's not working because there's something better just there that I should be using. So I'll give you an example of that. So many people are told by their business coaches, you've got to make more calls. And they look at it at the start of the week and they say, I've got to make 20 calls this week. At the end of the week, they've made 3. And then they go, well, that's okay. Next week, I'll make 37 calls. They're never in their life going to do that. It's not right for them. They've got to find what's their natural flow. Maybe their natural flow is to speak, is to stand on stages. That way you're seeing a lot more than 37 people. So you've got to follow your natural flow all of the time.
Yeah.
So they would be my 5 tips to kick
I
things
love them,
off.
Mike. I love them, and I couldn't agree with you more in the step number 5, yeah? Because you hear a lot of people there, don't give up, don't give up. And sometimes you have to analyze, yeah? Because how many times, Mike, have you seen a fly goes through a glass window?
Exactly.
It's not giving up, but it's not going through. Yeah. So I think that, when we hear on the internet, when we hear the coaches and mentors, okay, don't give up. You need to keep pushing. I think they have to finish the phrase. Yeah. Don't give up, but exactly what you're describing. You have to change your approach. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
if you
things
don't
that
give up
roadblock.
and you have the same approach, it's exactly what you describe it, Mike. It's a fly against a glass window. It's not going to.
Yeah, I just look at them as roadblocks, Harry. I think, if you're going to drive through a roadblock, then you're probably going to end up crashing your car. You're better off to look at what are the available options to detour around the roadblock so you get back on track the fastest. And that's what I mean by flow. So, if you're trying to get a meeting with somebody, but they keep blocking you or their secretary keeps blocking you, then maybe it's not the right time for you to have
100%.
that meeting with that person.
Mike, in this very same podcast, yeah, an entrepreneur, we have interviews so far with 500 millionaires in different areas. And one of the person that we interviewed in this podcast, he told me, Harry, I have a question for you. I'm ready for the question. He told me, okay, which one is the fastest path between point A to B? And I'm saying, oh, that's easy, a straight line. You know what the guy told me? He told me, Harry, is the path with less resistance. Think about the river.
Absolutely.
And I get 100% what you say now. And this phrase gave me to reflect a lot, because it's exactly what you're saying. It's about flow. Sometimes, as an entrepreneur, we want to go for the path, for the fastest path, yeah, without realizing that this path seems faster, but I have a lot of resistance on the way. Whether if you are in flow, Mike, yeah, you can achieve your goal with the path with less resistance, and you might arrive faster. Then at least less exhausted with your mental health, with your health, no overweight, which is something that I want to cover with you, because I like the name of your company. I actually love it, Circle of Excellence, because if you want to be in business today, all the entrepreneurs listen to the broadcast, you have to be excellent. Good is not enough. The other day, one guy came to me and told me, Harry, my wife left me. I said, your wife left you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been 20 years together, my wife left me. And I said, okay, so what happened? And he told me, well, I don't know. I was always very good to her. And I told her, exactly, that's why she left you. Because you have to be excellent. Good is not going to cut it for a relationship.
Very true.
The same thing with business. People, oh, why I'm not finding an investor? Or why my business is not growing? Well, and then you ask the CEOs and they say, no, I don't know. I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I said, are you doing excellent? Because to be in business today, you have to be excellent. So, Mike, can you expand a little bit more how, or what message do you have for the entrepreneurs out there that doesn't take this message of excellence seriously, and they think that it's okay to do good and to keep the customer's experience okay, to keep the relationship with your suppliers good, to keep your relationship with your customers good, to keep the relationship with your employees good. So what message do you have for the people that are doing good but not excellent?
Well, I think it's okay to do good, right? Because not all of us want to make millions of dollars and be the best in our industry and things like that. So it's okay, providing that's the choice that you make. So if you sit there and consciously go, I'm making a choice that I am not going to push that last 10%. I'm going to be satisfied with 90% everywhere, and that's what I'm going to do. then that is probably the right thing to do. But if you're going to sit there and go, I'm going to be great, but only be good, then you're never going to be remembered at all. Nobody's ever going to remember you. And what you do is never going to be truly successful. And your customers are going to be problems, problems, problems. And your staff are going to be problems, problems, problems. And your suppliers are going to be problems, problems, problems.
Mm.
So that's my view on it.
Yeah, and I think, Mike, and it's sad because a lot of entrepreneurs leave a lot of money on the table, because to move from good to excellent is actually not that bad. It's like you said, it's an extra 10%. It's not a big deal. However, can make a massive difference, huge difference. We're talking about millions in revenue, millions in revenue, and
What it is.
and to create your product. So that 10%, yeah, can, from good to excellent, this 10% extra you have to do, it will shift your company in a way that it will be 90% more better off, in terms that you will have something. Look at Amazon, yeah. When in the early days, when nobody knew them, all they do is they try to have an excellent customer service. They say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna treat our clients not good. We're gonna try them excellent. They don't like the product, we send it back. They or they need to be ordered easy. The product has to arrive there faster. It doesn't matter. We send the product back. We want the best. We want an excellent experience for the client. And probably how we all find out of Amazon is because a friend told us, look, you should order here. It's amazing. You know, these people send you the product quickly, no problems. If something goes wrong, they replace you, and they give you the money back, and they send the product to you and arrive the second product to you before you send yours back, and things like that, right? Anyway, so it was that experience, that excellent experience, that makes this business massive, right? So, and now, for example, the other day I'm passing here close to Liverpool Street in London, and I found Amazon hairdressing. Yeah. So now you're looking at this. I'm thinking,
oh, okay, really? Wow.
yeah. Beauty and hair. And then I'm looking at it, and I say, well, something will happen here. These people, they're gonna be treated excellent, because this is what they do. Yeah. I don't know, nobody knows that good or cutting hair or not, but something says whoever jump into this place, they're gonna have an excellent experience, because that's what the brand start. So I think that when you create the brand, and behind your brand, one of the values have to be excellent. Yeah. We can tell Mike that you start to play in the big leagues. In the big league, but when I'm talking about this big league, also is about internally yourself, because you talk something that I want to ask you, yeah, because you say, okay, fine, if an entrepreneur is okay to be good, it's his decision. However, be aware that he's gonna be dealing with problems with the staff, we're gonna be problem with the clients, it's gonna be problem, and he's gonna be deal with these problems all the time, because that's the foundation. Now, what happened with this problem is the following. These problems, this goes to these negative emotions that go to your brain as an entrepreneur, because you're running that business, and
absolutely,
you wake up and you have the customer complaining, and after you deal with the customer complaint, now you have your team complaining, because they're tired and they want to rest. And after that, then you have a complaining with the supplier. And after you deal the whole day dealing with complaining from everyone, now you have negative emotion attached to your brain that if this happens every day, and you don't find a way to release, to canalize this negative emotion, this emotional pain can become a physical pain. People can end up with cancer, with heart attacks. A lot of stories out there about this. So Mike, so being excellent, when you're playing to be being excellent, you're just not playing for the customer and for your business. You're also playing for your health, for your well-being, for this stage of flow. It's amazing when things flow. You see, I can see you very happy, very calm. I don't see any sign of stress on you. You sit here smiling. Let's do the podcast. How
I am
beautiful,
happy.
how
That's the thing.
beautiful.
I'm actually happy.
Yeah, yes, and you can tell that, you can see, you know what I mean, you can feel it. Yeah. And so from that state, only beautiful things happen, right? So can you expand a little bit of that, Mike? Being excellent is not only for your business, only for your client, it's not only for your staff, it's not only for everybody. Don't do it, I will tell you, don't do it for them, do it for you. You will be more happy, more healthier. So can you expand a little bit more on that, Mike?
Sure, absolutely. I think that's a really great point. And as I was listening to you, Harry, I was also thinking that it's going to have a significant effect on your family and in particular
100%.
your children as well. So if your children see you just going that extra mile, and I loved what you said about the person with their partner saying, I've been good to her, right? But they haven't been excellent to their partner. And that's some of the problems that have been created that people are in counseling for today because we saw our parents and go, oh, did you come from a broken family? No, my mother and father were together for 50 years, but they never really talked much. You hear that sort of thing all the time. I
All
didn't
the
have
time,
that. I
yeah.
mean, I come from a broken family, so I'm fully okay with realizing that I had to do better. But we look at when my wife and I got married, we said, we're not going to take any advice from anybody about our relationship unless they've been happily married and are still in love after 30 years. Those people will listen to. The rest,
100%.
we're not listening to. And it's the same with business. It's like, you know, everybody's got an opinion for you, but most of the people that are giving you opinions are not doing as well as you are, right? So, or they found their opinion by listening to somebody or other and they go, oh, that's a good opinion. So they want to tell you, but they've never implemented it themselves. So that's the problem I have. I have that problem with a lot of online marketing. We've got a client who sells online marketing, and I keep saying to him, get a business where you can use what you're teaching people in online marketing to prove that it works in a business because you're not selling what they need, you're selling what you need, right? And you see that a lot in online marketing is that it may look excellent from the perspective of, oh, look at this person, they've made $25 million online, everything like that. But the way they've made it online is teaching you how to do online marketing. They've never actually done too much online marketing. And what they did do, they set up a shoe store online that failed dismally. Yet you're trying to apply it to set up your shoe store or your, pizza shop or something like that. So I think excellent is being authentic. Excellence is realizing that, you need to stand out for your community, for your children, for your family. And I loved what you said about standing out for yourself because it does have an effect. I challenge anybody listening to this. If you've had a day or a week where you haven't felt that you've been authentic or you felt that you've been sort of hiding things from people at work, whether it be customers, suppliers, your business partners, whoever, I guarantee you're not feeling that well.
Mhm.
And it's a funny thing. It also comes down to choices of business, Harry. I mean, I remember years and years ago, I had a friend and their new boyfriend decided that they would start a business that went to the country markets on a Sunday and towed cars away that were parked illegally. And I'm like, what sort of business is that? Do they realize the karma of that business? You're setting up a business to prey on other people's misfortune. Strangely enough, he did that business for 6 months and he got cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of go, well, like, the universe has a funny way of dealing out justice, right? So I think to be excellent is to try your best all the time. It doesn't mean you're going to succeed. I mean, we're Circle of Excellence. There's plenty of things we do that's not excellent, but we understand what's not excellent. We try and fix it when we find that it's not excellent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, to me, it's about your own definition of what you find is excellent as well. For us, excellence is about going a bit further than you tell people you're going to go. So, like when we onboard clients, we don't even tell them about probably 25% of the stuff that they're going to get. And then we just give it to them. They're always like, oh, wow, you didn't tell me about that. You know, that's part of our excellence thing. But by the same token, we also tell them, don't contact us on Fridays because we don't work Friday.
Mm-hmm. Talking about adding to your story, Mike, one of the guys that I trained, yeah, his job was a debt collector, and he was collecting debt from people that couldn't afford, to have debt, and he that was his job, to go and collect the debt. And he told me that people were telling him when he was doing to the door. I said, look, I have the children, I don't have funds. What do you want me to do? I wish that you have a car crash and die. That's what I wish for you. Guess what happened? He did have a car crash and he almost died. So he reflected on that and he said, okay, you know what? I had to quit this job because the energy that is getting out of this space is actually affecting me in a way that I'm not happy. I'm not happy doing this job. I don't know even why I'm doing this job. And the guy actually quit and become an actor now. Yeah. Anyway, so
Right. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is something that that he's very happy about it. So Mike, let's talk about something that you touch, yeah, and we have to, yeah. Number one, let's talk about the coaching and about the industry. I want to expand a little bit more about you said about the person teaching about marketing and making millions, but doesn't have a business that have produced that. And at the end of the day, it's all it comes to qualify advice. Yeah, there are sometimes people. This is a true story. Yeah, my first business. Yeah, we managed to sell 5 million in property. Yeah, so I have some mentors and I take advice. And then I have my dad, which my dad loved me, but my dad never been an entrepreneur. He is a teacher. Yeah.
Right.
So he teach physics and he's very clever, very smart, and he loved me with everything. Yeah. However, and my dad is always giving me advice for the business. Harry, you should do this, you should do that. And you don't listen, he's telling me. And then I find an entrepreneur that have sold 5 million in the property business, give me the same advice on my dad, then I'll take the advice, okay? And then I got my dad telling me, you see, I told you, you don't listen to me. Now this guy go and tell you and the same thing that I'm telling you, and you do it. You see, Harry, you don't listen. So it's still taking me years to break it down to my dad that I only take advice from people that they are qualified to do, people that actually have done it and have proved that have done it. It doesn't mean that I don't listen to him. What it means is that the scale that I put his advice, regardless that is my dad and love me, and I know that the advice that he's giving me is what he thinks is the best for me and for my business more than anybody else. At the end of the day, he never built a multi-million-pound business. And that's the truth. So now, when somebody that built a multi-million-pound business comes to me and give me the same advice of my dad, now I'm taking the advice in consideration because is someone that had the track record that had done it and is telling me exactly like my dad is doing. And then is when I take it. Yeah. So what is your view, Mike? Because you say about coaching. I like a lot what you said about a good coach, a good mentor is what give you three solutions, 1, 2, 3, choose. Yeah. In my property business, I used to have a Polish guys. Yeah. The name was Matt and Matt. They were my builders. Yeah. And I said, Matt, I want to refurbish the house. Yeah. And I told them all the time, and they never understood. I said, you think, guys, that I pay you for fixing the stuff. That's what you think, and you charge me per hour, whatever, then I pay you, and you think that I'm paying you to do the job. Yeah. But what I'm really paying you is for the advice and the job execution, because Matt and Matt, every time, they knew me very well, every time that I want to refurbish a house, that I want to do a project, they already knew that they need to come with three solutions, because they were with me so long that they know sometimes I'm in a hurry because I want to rent the house quickly and money is not an issue. Sometimes I'm not in a hurry because money is in an issue and I'm not interested in renting them fast. And sometimes I want to use premium material and sometimes not. It depends on the deal, depends on the property, depends on the single. They already knew that. So when they come and I see the project, they come back and tell me, okay, Harry, here you are. Option 1, we finish in 3 weeks. It's going to cost you this. Option 2, we finish in 2 months. It's going to cost you this. Option 3, we give you this. Which one would you like? Right? Then I choose, and then I did the job and paid them, and we worked together like for 10 years until Brexit come and they came back to Poland. We operate like this for years. So, Mike, the point of the story is that the negative connotation that we have out there about coaching and mentorship, that's why when you said about coaching, say, well, this is going to look like a sales pitch. It shouldn't, because when you have the right mentor and the right coach that have achieved what you have achieved before, yeah, you are moving, Mike, from the A to B straight line to the path with less resistance. Yeah. And I've been there in the path from A to B, building several business. Is hard. It's tough. Is you become stressed out and everything. So in your opinion, what we have to do to share more with entrepreneurs that everyone in the coaching business is fine. I'm also a coach. I train people how to speak in public and how to grow the business and the brand from the stage. That's what I specialize. Yeah. And I have coached, we have reached over 1 million people online, helping them to do that. So, but what is the message of you about what we discussed? Number 1, how important is to get qualified advice and qualified coaching, and everyone is free to call themselves coach. However, you only can help people in things that you have achieved. Yeah. And number 2,
well,
yeah,
definitely. Let's pick up that one first, because I think what you've got to do is, if you are here, you don't want to get a coach that's here, right?
100%.
In other words, if you're trying to make your first million, you don't want a coach that's 100 million coach that's got $100 million business.
You need
because they're
0
not
to
used
1,
to you.
exactly.
They don't understand you, and they're going to give you advice that's not relevant to you. You want a coach who's got a $3 or $4 million business, and then once you're at your $3 or $4 million, you want a coach who's got a $10 million business, and once you're at a 10 million, need a coach who's got a $25 million business.
I agree 100%.
And that's the way you should play it. And is it important that coach has to have an intimate knowledge of your business? No, I don't think so. But they have to have an intimate knowledge of the type of business that you have. So, for instance, an accountancy firm, a law firm, a financial planning firm, what's the difference, right? They're all in the service industry. They all serve clients. They're like a practice. You could put a doctor's practice in there as well. Somebody who knows and understands that type of business. And I've owned 2 of the 4 of those I just mentioned. So I understand that they're very similar in the way in which they service clients and their technologies and things like that. If you are a speaker, a coach, a consultant, an author, it's pretty much the same thing, okay? you can bundle those together. Retail's retail, manufacturing's manufacturing. So with those things in mind, but it doesn't hurt to have coaches that have got broad experience as well. So somebody's in the retail sector, the manufacturing sector, and knows and understands a thing about sales and marketing as well. Where I think people get stuck is that they pick a coach that's at the same level as them or only slightly better. In other words, that coach is making $150,000 a year and the person's making $80,000 a year. That's not the type of person that is going to get you to the next level for sure. What was your second question?
Yeah, the second question is about the solutions, right? About in the coaching is if we have a conversation, we can propose alternative solutions, yeah, and even better, yeah, we can train our client, the people that we're coaching, so they can provide the alternative solution. They're gonna be in the right state of mind because I got a degree in chemical engineering, yeah, and we know that problems have more than one solution, yeah, and sometimes we go and say, okay, I'm gonna solve this problem with solution number one, but if you don't, you can explore more alternative solution. Maybe you can solve the problem, the business problem, more effectively. So, what do you think about this? Like you said, multiple solutions, which is something that you talk about in your 5 steps.
Well, much of the time, there's very different ways to get to the same place. And so what the talented coach has got to do is they've got to realize which is going to be the best one for their client, right? So I'll give you an example. If I'm talking to you, if you were my client and you said to me, Mike, I want to reach a lot of people in the next 12 months, I'd be going, Harry, you need to get on the stage, right? You're built for the stage. Okay. You love public speaking. You've got a great persona. People will endear themselves to you. They'll either love you or hate you, which is what you want on the stage. So I'd send you to the stage. But the next person might come with exactly the same question. And I go, the last thing they should do is get on the stage. So I might tell them, but they're a very good relationship person. So it might be better for them to go and build strategic alliances and joint venture partners. And then the third person may be coming along and they might be very technologically savvy. And I might think for them, it's online marketing. So the idea is to know your customer. And then if it was somebody like you, who's obviously going to be good at strategic partners as well, I would say, well, option one, you could get on stage. Option two, you could do strategic partnering. And option three for you is you could start a podcast, right? So which of those sort of spins your dial more? And you go, oh, I like the idea of a podcast. And I go, okay, well, let's look at how you can monetize the podcast to turning that into $1 million, right? And then you say, oh, no, I don't really want to do that. And I go, okay, well, that's fine. You don't like the fact that you have to, do 200 episodes in a year and you have to get advertisers and things like that. Okay, that's fine. Let's now look at maybe the stage for you. Oh, okay. Well, this is what you have to do on the stage. Oh, no, I think I can do that. Right. Let's go deeper into that. That's really the process of working with somebody. But traditional coaching as ICF and great organizations like that train people has its place and it's very, very useful. And I've been involved in those traditional coaching setups. In fact, I was on the board of one for about 4 or 5 years, many years ago. But those traditional coaching setups are designed to say, how are you feeling about where you are at the moment? What are the 3 alternatives that you come up with? Okay, which one of those do you like? Okay, if you're going to do those, what would you do? Now, those questions are really useful, but sometimes you've got to go, I've got to shortcut this. None of those are good ideas. And if you do any of them, you're going to burn yourself and lose another $100,000. So why don't you just do this? But in traditional coaching, that's very frowned upon. So I think, you've got to make a choice. Am I a coach or am I consultant mentor, depending on what you want to be?
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's the difference between the consultant and the mentor and the coach, right? The coach which is tell us the difference, Mike.
Yeah, there's a lot of difference. And I mean, and if you're confident in what you're
And
doing,
when do you need the difference between coaching and mentors and consultants, and when is when you need the coach and when do you need the mentor and the consultant? So the entrepreneurs listening, they have clarity when they seek for help, what they actually have to look for.
well, unfortunately, I think for most entrepreneurs, they don't know what they need, right? So that they are a little bit stuck. A bit of guidance there would be that if you feel you're on the right road, but you just need it refined, then probably coaching is the way to go for you. If you're not sure whether you're on the right road or not, you need somebody
Your
who's a
business is
coach,
not
but
working
also
and you're losing money and you are stuck.
yeah, I love my pizza shop, but I'm not sure that I've bought the right thing because I just can't see how it can make good money. Then you need a coach consultant. You need somebody in the
100%.
middle. And you know, the third one might be I'm committed to the technology industry and I'm starting a company that's going to use AI, et cetera, and build some new AI platform. Then you're probably going to need somebody who's pretty technically savvy in that industry who's been there and done that.
100%. Yeah. And then, Mike, tell us about if the entrepreneurs are listening this podcast and they enjoying the conversation. Tell us how they can tell us a little bit more about the Circle of Excellence and how they can join the community and how the process works.
Very simple. We make it very simple for people. So if they want to go to our website, circleofexcellence.biz, B-I-Z, they can, step one is that they can do an assessment. It's right there on the front page. We don't have a plethora of 300 emails that go to them afterwards. We, I think, have 2 emails that go to them afterwards that basically say, look, here's your result. These are the 5 or 6 things that you should do. So we actually give them help. So based on that, so the assessment covers 6 areas in business. And then based on what, let's say if they're down in positioning, then we'll say, here are 5 things that you can do in positioning. And by the way, if you need more help, reach out to us, and gives you the connection to reach out. But there are 5 ways in which people can play with us at the Circle of Excellence Group. One, at the lowest level, they can buy a book or do something online or come to a webinar or something like that, totally free, of course. Then at the second level, that they can come to one of our events somewhere around the world, and we run regular events pretty much all over the world. In the last year, it's been over 20 countries that we've been in running events. So they can come to one of those. They'll meet a lot of like-minded people, and we talk business. Some of the events are 3 hours, some of them are 2 days.
Wow.
Then at the third level, they can come into a group coaching program with other people, like an online mastermind. And they can be in that for 6 months. And they'll be in there with like minds, and it'll be facilitated in small groups. Then the second top level is that they can come and get individual coaching from one of our accredited coaches, right? And that person will work with them one-on-one. And then at the top level, they can work with myself and Landi, my partner, directly, and we'll bring our whole team and we'll work on every aspect of their business from the A to the Z and everything in between. We'll work on their mindset. We'll talk to them about their spiritual beliefs if that's what they want to talk about. We'll look at how to scale their business from where it is, and we'll work on the impact that they want in the world. So, and we've got clients at all of those different levels, of course.
Brilliant, Mike. Now let's talk about purpose, because I see behind your logo three
prosperity, freedom, and purpose.
Freedom, and purpose. And I think that if you have a purpose, yeah, prosperity and freedom will follow you. So tell us about that, because I'm sharing this with you because the first business that I have about the property, right? I did for the money. Yeah. I I want to make money, and then somebody told me with property you can make money, and there it was. Then I was in the property business because of the money. Yeah. So eventually, guess what happened? This business is de-escalated because despite that I like it and I like few elements about property, it was not my purpose. It was not my passion. Right now, train entrepreneurs how to present and help them to build a global brand from the stage and grow the business doing so is what I found in my purpose, what I really love. Yeah. When I do these things, I don't feel that I'm working. And every time that I'm doing this, I go freedom and prosperity follows. Yeah. And we are in flow. There's less resistance. I don't have anybody calling me at 1 a.m. My boiler is Sunday evening. My boiler is not working. Come and fix it. And I said, well, if Sunday 1 a.m. I don't know how to fix the boiler, and the plumber is sleeping. So we have to wait until the morning. I can
Welcome to
function.
property.
Yeah, exactly. So on one guy, one mentor, actually big mentor, big property millionaire. One, I used to do these events in London where I invite a lot of property millionaires, and they spoke. Yeah, I think it was a property investment summit, something like that, and before COVID. And one of the speakers is speaking in that event, and I'm listening to him, and he said, "Listen, everyone, if you don't like that a tenant call you at 1 a.m. on Sunday evening to tell you that the boiler is broken and he's not willing to sleep cold, and you have to fix it right now, and you don't like to take this call and you don't like to deal with this call, you shouldn't be in the property business."
Pretty right.
Yeah, because you're talking about excellence. If you want to be in this business, you have to be excellent with this client and do the best you can do to set the client, regardless that the options are very limited, because the plumbers, as far as I know, all plumbers are sleeping at 1 a.m. in all countries. Anyway, so the whole point is that on that day, I have a deep realization that maybe I'm not in the right business for me. You see, and we de-escalated, and now we are in a business that we're very happy. We're giving us purpose, and it has freedom and prosperity. So these 3 points that you have in the Circle of Excellence are actually very powerful, Mike. So if this is something that is part of your process, that you help them to find the purpose, and when they find the purpose, they can freedom and prosperity will follow them. That's something that you can help the entrepreneurs out there with.
Absolutely. Well, we spent years, and you'd think it would be simple, but it wasn't. We spent years going, what do we actually do? And it came down to we only do these 3 things, and they don't sit outside each other. They only sit together, Harry.
100%. It takes a lot of years to realize. It's a big roller coaster.
I know it does.
Tell me about it.
It does. And so any client we work with, whether they come to an event or whether Landi and I are working with them one-on-one, all we're trying to do for them is help them with their prosperity, keep them on purpose, and not at the expense of their freedom.
100%.
Because there's because 2 out of 3 never works. Like in South Africa, where I am at the moment, we have a lot of people here who have a lot of money. South Africa is a very wealthy country, and those people have a lot of freedom. Very few of them that I've met have any purpose, and most of them are pretty unhappy. Yet last month I was in Bali,
and they commit suicide.
Exactly. Last month I was in Bali in Indonesia, and there was a lot of people there with a lot of purpose and a lot of freedom, not much money. They weren't happy either. So we realized that the composite of those 3 things is what really helps people to lead a fulfilled and happy and enjoyable life. And I agree with you that if you truly found your purpose, then prosperity and freedom will follow. But sometimes people are so busy chasing their purpose that they forget to live.
100%. Yeah.
And, you know, I remember, and he's a very well-known name, and I worked with him for a long time. So I'm not going to mention who it is, but he's in the personal and professional development space. And I remember he told me, oh, I think my wife's going to divorce me because I'm going to stay on the road. We said, well, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you spend more time with your wife? He goes, but my vision is bigger than my family. They have to come second. And we go, that doesn't make any sense, because your family are the only people that are going to support you
Your
in the
first
days
team.
where nobody cares about your vision.
It's
So
your team.
he
Exactly.
did get divorced. Then
Wow.
3 years later, he and his wife got back together. They had 3 children.
Wow.
But that was 15 years ago, and now he's divorced again. And so, you know, and he's not a happy person. And he's got lots of money. And in fact, he listed his company on the New York Stock Exchange.
Wow.
And he's got lots of money, but he's just not happy. You can tell it. You can just see it in him. He's never been happy.
At the end of the day, Mike, when you put in the balance, right, and sometimes we get trapped in this rat race, yeah, that we think that, okay, because having a million is who define who we are, and some things go into our head that actually are pretty toxic, yeah. I like to talk what we call it a millionaire lifestyle, okay? And sometimes you can live like a millionaire, and you don't necessarily have to be a million in your bank account, you know, because what
Exactly.
resource is important for me is time, you know. This is more priceless, time, and also spend my time with people that I like you.
Absolutely.
And
Couldn't
so,
agree more.
you know, we spend almost an hour chatting each other. This is priceless, you see.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have millions in the bank account. They cannot spend their time speaking with someone as brilliant as you. Do you understand what I mean? So,
Vice versa.
where at the end of the day, is it money what is gonna? Well, money is very important. Don't get me wrong, but it goes more than that, because yeah, if you are that purpose exactly like it's like a disalignment, exactly like you said, for you to find your purpose, you need a team. And the first team before you hire the first person is your family. Yeah. If my dad, for example, I told you about that. My dad support me in my business unconditionally of anything. He in that property business, he worked more than anybody. He gave me 3,000 advice more than anybody. It's like I have a safety net. Yeah. Without him, I couldn't build it. That's the truth. Yeah. He support me with everything that he could and he couldn't do. When he knew even what he didn't know, he also told me as well. Yeah. So that family, that foundation, yeah, is your first team, even before you have your first employee.
Yep.
They will work with sweat and tears to help you out, right? But then when this is not happy, you say no, it's not happy. The issue with the not happy is that it doesn't stay there. If you're not happy, then you start to get stressed out, you start to get depressed, you start to get pills, you start to get medicine. And now you find these people that I know, all the multimillionaires that I know, that will change all the money for one more day of life, if that makes sense.
Of course.
So
that happens all the time.
Yeah, you have to reevaluate, yeah, and get balance between prosperity, freedom, and purpose, because you don't want to have, I don't know, millions in the bank account and you're not even able to enjoy it because you're so stressed out, taking so many pills that it's gonna give you a heart attack. So, what is the last message, Mike, about find that balance? Yeah, find that peace, find this state of flow, to be happy with who you are. Because honestly, you know, you and I, we don't have to prove anything to anybody. You know,
No,
when you are like that, from that space, you are in peace. You stop running to prove, I have to do this, or I have to do this million to prove this, or I have to do this to prove. But when you arrive to that step in life that, you know what, that you're happy with who you are and you don't need to prove anything to anybody, then it's easy to find your purpose. You're going to have freedom and prosperity will follow. So tell us, Mike, your last message.
My last message for our listeners, Harry, is to do what you love, to do it to the best of your ability, and to build your business around your life. Don't try and fit your life around your business. So when you're looking at your 2025, 2026, whatever year you're looking at, then look at what you want to do for your life first, and then look at the gaps and build your business into that. And if you can do that, then I think you've truly made it.
Thank you so much, Mike. I love it. I love it, and I agree 100%. Yeah. Have the life, we believe, Mike, in this broadcast that entrepreneurs should be wealthy, they should be healthy, but more of it, they should be happy. This is what we believe. And that's why the very reason what we do in all these series of broadcasts is to help our listeners, wherever they are in the world, to have another view about what could be a wonderful life for the entrepreneurs. Because at the end of the day, we take all the risk. When you go to a bank, you are the highest risk. They prefer to give the mortgage to my employees than to myself. They say, "Oh no, you're the owner. You're a high risk." So we take the highest risk. We employ the people. We pay the tax. We generate jobs. The economy move forward because of us. Yeah, but then we don't have no one that tap us in our shoulder and say, "Guys, you did well. You deserve to be happy, wealthy, and healthy. This is the minimum that you deserve because of all good things that you have to get for the economy. Is not only in South Africa, not United Kingdom, not United States, all over the world. Without entrepreneurs, the economy doesn't move forward. Yeah, so we until the first sales doesn't happen, nothing moves in the world, right? So, and I think that, Mike, this program that you designed, the Circulos Excellence with prosperity, freedom, and purpose, I think that you have put it together, and I know that is not easy. Now it's easy to read now. Oh, Circulos Excellence, prosperity, freedom, and purpose. Yeah. But behind this, I know there are years of figuring out what we really want. Yeah? Because what if our purpose, what we're really around? We're really around to have business and to make money, and we're really around to create jobs, to helping people. Are we helping ourselves? Are we helping our family? Yeah, last story, Mike, very briefly. One, in, I think 7-8 years ago, yeah, my mom got very sick. She was living in Havana, yeah. And bottom line, I had to fly to Cuba, yeah, to pick her up, yeah. Long story short,
it's a beautiful country. I love Cuba.
Long story short, it took 100,000 pounds and a year of me without working to save my mom's life. And if I was not an entrepreneur, I wouldn't be able to achieve that. Make sense? So
absolutely. Well, good for you.
We want all the entrepreneurs to have your business, to find a coach, mentor like Mike, to make it operate that, you can work on your business, but if for any reason someone that you love is in trouble, you want to go and support, you can do so because your business is well structured and can operate without you. So bye for now. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And for all,
thanks, Harry.
Pleasure. And for all our listeners, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Mike break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.